Theo Paphitis joins us, entrepreneur, former Dragon's Den star, who was the chairman of Ryman, Robert Dias, and Boo Avenue. He is a former Conservative donor. But, Theo, yesterday you switched sides. Tell us why, sir.
Well, it didn't happen overnight, Tom. I mean, this has been taking over a while now. But a year ago, I said, my vote is there to be won. Now, I've only got one vote at the end of the day, just like everybody else out there. And since then, the Tory party has just continued to tear themselves apart, look inwards, and give me not one reason. It's like kamikaze. It's a proper kamikaze. It's as if they want to implode for the last 12 months, torn themselves apart. In fact, forget the last 12 months, Tom. I mean, the last 7 or 8 years. The question for you, where are all those people, all those well-known names that have been causing grief in Parliament over the past sort of 7 or 8 years during this election? They've all gone missing.
Oh, well,
they've left the poo on the table.
They're all fighting for their seats. Yeah, they're all fighting for their. Some of them are fighting for their seats. They were in safe seats, but they're now up for grabs, it would seem. And some of them are jacking it in altogether.
Well, there you are. They're jacking it in. So they've done the damage and they're running away. And they've left poor Rishi on his own, trying to hold what clearly is a sinking ship. So if anybody wants to know, any Tory party member or MP wants to know why the Tory party is in such disarray and they can't work it out for themselves, then there's big questions they should be asking about their politics.
So for you, is it more about the state in which the Conservative Party have led themselves, but also therefore the country, more than what it is Labour might be offering?
Well, what it did do, of course, is make me look at, well, I'm not going to waste my vote. And I would implore anybody out there, do not waste your vote, right? So I then start looking around. And of course, the Labour Party have made themselves a lot more attractive since the days of Corbyn. A lot more attractive.
A lot more attractive to whom?
To the general public, to people like me, to business. They're far more commercial, far more friendly towards business. And quite honestly, compared to what's been going on, they're a fantastic option.
Well, Rishi Sunak had something to say about this and to whom it was that Labour were appealing, because he was on LBC earlier this morning. He was asked about business leaders Sir Jim Ratcliffe and John Caldwell, both of whom, I think, like you're certainly for John Caldwell, both of whom had been offering the Conservatives money in the past and who had now changed to back Labour. And Rishi Sunak said it was fine for them because they could afford it because they were rich. Take a listen.
They're two of Britain's richest men. They can probably afford Labour's tax rises. But for tens of millions of people who are working really hard, they can't. Well, I want to cut people's taxes. Right, that's what I'm wanting to do for this country. We've started already by a £900 tax cut for everyone in work. I want to go further if I win this election to give people financial security. And what we've seen from Labour Party just literally yesterday on your own show, Nick, Keir Starmer here, all over the place, can't rule out whacking everyone's council tax up. I'm not going to do that. I want to cut people's taxes at every stage of their life. And that's the choice for everyone at this election.
You're a rich guy, Mr. Paphitis. What do you have to say to Rishi Sunak? You can afford to back Labour because you can afford what he says are their tax rises.
Well, that is absolutely choice. Rishi Sunak calling me rich. This is more delusional than I ever put them down for. One of the richest men in the United Kingdom. I mean, they are totally delusional. They've lost the plot. They are just sprouting things that makes them look even more ridiculous.
Would you donate to Labour?
Strangely enough, Tom, I've not been asked to donate. Isn't that weird? So why is it always about money? So if you with the Tories, it's give me money, right? And that makes you a donor and gives you influence. Well, strangely enough, my support for Labour is genuine. It's not about giving them money or them asking me for money. Now, if that's a strange thing in politics today, then it's incredibly strange.